to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The town allocates 3 minutes during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the Board of Supervisors on agenda items only. Mr. Kapinski, is there anybody that signed up?
Yes, Joe Roach. I'm sorry, did I get your name correct, sir? Okay.
Oh, that's going to be starting off the meeting. We can do that. Was here to speak about the parks, and by the way, Joe Roach, I'm on Moore Street in Pancake. Who doesn't love a park? An area of our township for all to enjoy, out in the open air, green grass, gets folks away from their ever-present screens. Mother Nature, with walkways, playgrounds, jungle gyms, picnic tables, party facilities, used to celebrate reunions. And the 20-something Billy Bell Pancake reunion is going to be coming up here real soon at Billy Bell Park, I mean. So a lot's happening at the parks, and even memorials, birthdays, and holiday events. If I didn't know better, that all sounds like positive energy flowing throughout our South Strabane Township community. From what I understand, it's not a costly venture as much as provided through volunteerism. So who wants to defund these enjoyable aspects of life in South Strabane Township? And why do we continue to donate the same amount needed to the Citizens Library, which is outside South Strabane Township? We know who and the whys are basically political, even at this level of governance. Publicly elected servants are to do just that, serve the public. Why run for these offices if it were to listen to the community and support the wishes of public? That would be great. When that's not the case, when personalities are exposed, when agendas or vendettas are the focus, the public trust is lost. Most folks are too busy raising families, building careers, and just trying to keep up in the fast-moving times to even be aware of these things that we're here tonight to discuss. They're counting on you, our elected officials, to think about them when deciding the fate of our parks and all that entails. The majority of the residents of South Strabane Township are living their lives, counting on you to provide what this community needs. And that's people focused on us. But if elected officials are not in touch with what makes a community work, leave all that at the door, elected officials. Make the community your mindset. Keep our parks, keep our integrity. South Strabane Township is better than what I think you want to do. Do some soul searching before voting. Keep our Parks Department intact. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, that's it for the agenda items, yes.
Okay. We'll move on to meeting minutes. A motion to approve the meeting minutes of the Board of Supervisors meeting January 19th, 2026, January 22nd, 2026, January 27th, 2026, February 11th, 2026, and February 24th, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
Make that motion.
Second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Financial business. Approve the payrolls for the periods of February 15th, 2026 through February 28th, 2026, and March 1st, 2026 through March 14th, 2026, and bills for the period of February 21st, 2026 through March 20th, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion, but I'd like to have discussion.
Second. Discussion?
All right, so on the financial report, I believe that we have two email accounts that we need to cancel. One is under Scott Heckman that is still inactive, that to be
Active.
terminated. And then one under administration. And then this one I'm not sure about, so Pete to look into is under the cell phone under code enforcement. Do we need to cancel a line there? Do we have additional lines that are open, or is it the penalty too high to cancel the cell phone line?
No, I believe we were working on getting that
Just working
canceled.
on it?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
that's
That
fine.
and the iPad tablet the code enforcement officer had.
Okay. Sometimes there's a penalty, it's not worth it. And then the treasurer's report, just to adjust the stipend program. To update the budget on that, but other than that, it's kind of a new report, so we're adapting to it. Yeah,
That's everything?
so I have for that.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Announcements and recognition. There are none at this time. Township reports and presentations. The Board of Supervisors allocates a period of time during this item for comments regarding the topic of stormwater. Each person addressing the Board of Supervisors is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Is there anybody talking about MS4 issues? Okay. Anybody online, Kristen? No? Okay. Township managers reports.
I just want to talk briefly other than stuff that's on the agenda. Development updates. I think we mentioned at a previous meeting, we were contacted by the developer for Menards. They were supposed to come in within 90 days. They have to come back to the planning commission, and then they plan on start moving dirt. We're starting to get into the last 30 days of that, so we haven't heard anything additional from them. Also, I'll probably let TJ talk about our walkthrough. We were over at the New Harbor Freight site and talked to the mall development. On June 1st, they plan on having the last 2 tenants out of the old mall site, which is the Chinese restaurant and Harbor Freight, and then they will conduct the rest of the demolition on that site over there.
Mr. Rowan, can I make a statement with your permission? Yes. There was somebody, I can't remember who mentioned it. There is a flag memorial for the 2001 situation. It's part of the whole process with, what's the name of the company called? The developers, 7970 something.
Yep.
Associates. They were supposed to maintain those flags or something, or that memorial. It may be prudent to have an agreement between the township and them to have that agreement, because that is a significant monument to what occurred in 2001, or whatever time that was. So I suggest that Mr. Stefanski has some time, that he contact those folks, the developer, to talk about doing an agreement with the township regarding that site. Does that make sense to you folks?
Yes.
And if, Pete, if you have any issues, just give me a call.
Yep, not a problem. That's the large flag up there, Dennis?
That's,
The 9/11, yeah.
and so I was approached by somebody in the public about that a few weeks ago, and I just want to make sure we put that on our agenda, maybe next meeting.
Would we have had an agreement with the former owner?
That would be before my time.
Maybe you
So-
could look for that.
Is that all you have? Mr.
Yes, that was all I had.
Secretary Treasurer. Nothing under that?
You're next.
Township Solicitor, Mr. Makel.
My office has been involved in numerous items for the township. Data center ordinances, meetings, best ordinances, noise ordinances, agreements, other different items. So we've been very active the past couple months. So we're proceeding forward, I believe. We have a public hearing scheduled next Tuesday. I've got one on Monday somewhere else, so I'm just gonna make sure you're aware of that. And maybe we can talk about that for deliberations, okay? And just for the record, that public hearing is for the Board of Supervisors. You understand that? Okay, that's all I have to say at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Makel.
Thank you, sir.
Township Engineer.
Thank you, Mr. Rowan.
Yes.
Our office submitted our engineer's report last week. The updates are in bold. Hopefully they're in your meeting packet there. Just wanted to touch on a couple things. We talked about this at the last meeting, but our office is working with the solicitor's office on the status of the HOP permit for Burkett Lane and Burkett Manor. So that process is ongoing with Charlotte Carnes of Dennis's office. Meadows Landing development. We have not yet received the final submission for final subdivision and land development. I understand their engineers still working on the design. The developer will be on the site tomorrow to do road borings of Landings Drive and Helen Drive, which are the two roads that are still private at this time and intended to be turned over to the public, to the township. And the purpose of those borings is to figure out the pavement profile that we have right now, so that they can show the appropriate improvements on their drawing set, so that those two roadways will meet township specs, so that we can take them over after the project's done. So our office will have a representative there tomorrow when those borings are being completed. And then we'll submit a written report to the Board of Supervisors so that you can have the same information that we do about the current status of those roadways and what will need to be done to meet the specs. So that's that item. Pete touched on it, but we did participate in a walkthrough inspection at Bradford Run yesterday. Our office was there. Supervisor Bull was there. Manager Stefanski was there. Conservation District was there also, along with the HOA. So we had a good walkthrough. There's a number of items that will be on the punch list for the Bradford Run Phase 3 and Phase 2. Our office will prepare that punch list and cost estimate very similarly to what we did for Burkett Manor last summer. So we'll have that finished up and over to the board for your review. We did participate in a walkthrough at Harbor Freight on March 11th. Pete and myself participated in that with the developer over there. It looks I think Pete and I share the opinion that the drawings and the work going on the site conforms to the approved drawings, which is good. There are some existing landscaping features at the entrance there that were noted on the plans as to remain in place, and they were removed. There was a water meter vault improvement project. They replaced the water meter vault over there, the water company. So I'm not entirely sure if that landscaping was changed by the water company or by the developer, but at either rate, we'll need to see a new landscaping plan that shows how they're going to finish that area, for lack of a better way of saying that. But otherwise, the development appears to meet the conformed drawings or the approved drawings. Freedom Transit, I did stop there on March 11th also, just to check on the status of the grading. That's a grading ordinance requirement that the administrator perform periodic inspections. So our office did do that. And we were provided with the compaction test reports for the grading activities that have taken place on that site already. So, and those were also provided to the manager. So we'll continue to do periodic inspections there as the ordinance dictates. So, and then the last thing I wanted to touch on was upcoming grant opportunities. There is a Greenways, Trails, and Recreation grant program through Act 13, which is the Department of Community and Economic Development. It's the Marcellus Shale Legacy Fund. So any park projects, trail improvement projects, those are eligible for different grant opportunities. So the deadline to apply for grants to that program is May 31st. So we have some time. I can provide the information on the program if you're interested. But that's an opportunity that other municipalities are taking advantage of. So I wanted to bring it up here for the board to consider. There's also a flood mitigation program with the same deadline. So happy to provide information on both those programs if you wish, but unless there's any questions, that's all I have to report.
TJ, what prompted the visit to Harbor Freight? Was there questions about the setback?
Yeah.
And you found that it did meet? So the person that was raising a red flag about the setbacks was incorrect, and everything is by what the master plan is calling?
It appears that the construction on the site conforms to what the township approved. I understand there was a variance that was granted for that site to reduce that setback in that corner near the entrance.
Right.
And to answer your question, I think the township received a couple questions about the setbacks and the landscaping, which was really what prompted our meeting there.
And everything is in order?
Aside from the landscaping that they said they would leave in place and took out, yes, everything appears to be per the drawings.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I have, Mr. Owen, if I could.
Sure.
Mr. Stevens, if I'm correct, there is a 250 anniversary grant or something like that?
There is through Washington County, yes.
Have we applied for that here?
I don't know about that.
Because it's usually a grant with no matching, correct?
Yeah,
And I think the second round is coming out, what, June or July?
I'm not sure if there's a deadline to apply to that, but I do know it's in celebration of the 250th anniversary. So.
Maybe with the board's permission, maybe Mr. Stevens should contact Mr. Stefanski to see about what projects could be used in terms of that. It's free money.
Yeah.
I think it goes up to 25,000.
Up to 25,000, yeah.
So-
And I believe it's for parks as well. Sorry, Dennis.
I think it is. So I'm just suggesting, I know someplace we're putting a pavilion in with that 25,000. That's up to you folks. The second thing is regarding these different, like, and I guess the different developments. We do have escrows for 7970, and we do have escrows for Freedom Transit. Am I correct? Okay, we do. So we should be using for his services to go and view that. That should be coming out of those escrow accounts. Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
So to make sure that's being done.
Just one quick comment on that, if I can. The township staff generally provides us with a schedule of escrow account numbers. And when our office does our billing, we'll note on our invoice which escrow account it should be paid out of. So hopefully that's helpful to the staff here. Yep.
Everything's working good. Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
and the final thing is, just is on the tip of my tongue. We were at a meeting last night with another community, another
Yes.
township. Where we talk about HOPs for the Burkett Manor. Are we going to need to do another agreement like we did last night with PennDOT? Because as you're well aware, anytime there's an HOP, the municipality has to be the applicant. Contrary to the assertions of the developer and his legal counsel in the other community. Am I correct?
You are correct.
So was that something you may want to take a look at down the road? Because I don't know, I don't recall the township ever being an applicant for an HOP since I've been here. So you may want to check into that, I'm suggesting.
Yeah, we can look at that. And yeah, you're referring to the business partner agreement.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I have, Mr. Rowe.
Okay, thank you. And you could get back to us on that grant?
Yeah,
250?
I'll send the information to Pete for both the programs.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Unfinished business, there is none. New business. Motion to approve the preliminary and final minor subdivision applicant for the 8th Amendment to Burkett Manor, PRD Plan Number 1 for properties located at 200, 202, 204, 206, and 208 Yellowwood Court in the R4 Medium Density Residential Zoning District. TJ, did you have anything you wanted to?
Sure. So I don't believe the applicant is here tonight. At least I don't think,
He
Keith
stated-
Higgins is not here, right?
Mr. Higgins, he said another meeting, he can't be in two places. And since there's nothing that was significant, so my comment was to Kristen, Mr. Dunn, there's no need for him to be here because he was
Yeah.
in another meeting.
Yep. Our office reviewed the subdivision. We had one comment, which was addressed. So all of our review comments have been addressed at this time. So we're recommending approval.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
A second.
Any further discussion?
Just want to be on the record, the applicant should be here.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
I don't pardon people not sure, they want something approved here, the applicant's not present. I just want to be on the record saying that.
Okay.
Because on all our papers, we put
Are they online?
applicant must be present.
No, he said he was in another meeting.
You want to, if we table, it's gonna be a problem or not?
I was just gonna say, do you,
If you want to
Table it?
table it, then you make a motion to table, Mr. Weber. I apologize.
I motion to table, it,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
okay, second?
I'll second. It's fine.
All those in favor?
One
of
second, one
ta-
second. All right, why don't we just,
He
We
did,
talked-
he did offer to leave the other meeting and,
we just told him it's necessary.
come in on Zoom, right? That's what I thought you said earlier.
Why don't we just
Is he
table,
on- is he on Zoom?
we'll call him to be back on Zoom. Why don't we just table it at this stage of the meeting and we'll get him back on after, at the
All
end.
right.
Okay,
Can you get a hold of him, Tom, to get on? Why don't you, we'll table it just at this stage.
okay. We'll
just
move
leave it
this
open.
to the
Stays
end.
open.
We'll move A to the end. Okay, letter B. Motion to approve the preliminary and final subdivision application for Coddington Coalition located on Berry Road Extension on parcel numbers 600-001-02, -01-0007-00 and 600-001-02, -01-0008-00 in the R2 Suburban Residential Zoning District. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
discussion? TJ,
Do we have the applicant here?
is the applicant here? Yep.
Good.
Yep. Yeah, so the applicant is David Coddington. He's here tonight. He was here at the planning commission meeting earlier this month. Our office reviewed this consolidation. It's a 2-lot subdivision, which will be, both lots will be combined into one remaining lot, which he intends to build a single-family residence on. I can let him describe his subdivision in a little more detail, but our office did review it. We had a handful of comments for his surveyor in a letter that was dated February 26, 2026. We received a revised drawing last week on March 19th, which addressed all of our questions and comments. So all of our review concerns have been addressed. We would recommend that this be approved this evening. So David, do you have anything to add?
Could you step up? Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that, or I have to add is, our intentions are to build a single family home. We're just combining the 2 lots, just over an acre in total. So of course, once this process is approved, then we move on to the next step, go through the building permits and sewage and whatever else. So that's what our intentions are for the property.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Motion awarding lowest qualified bid for public works material. Mr. Stefanski, do you have anything to?
Yep, if the Board of Supervisors at the bottom, there's a breakdown because there were multiple awards. So it wasn't one company who got the entire bid. So we have it broken down for the board, what each company had gotten as the low responsible bidder. And all of them had bid bonds.
Okay. Do I hear a motion? Second,
Second.
any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Motion to approve an ordinance of South Strabane Township, Washington County, PA, repealing ordinance number 4-2023 and ordinance number 3-2022 and any other ordinances creating a Park and Recreations Commission. Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, you
I'm sorry,
skipped
Mr.
D.
Owen, I think you're one,
You skipped D.
you skipped paragraph D.
letter D.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Discussion and motion to seek RFPs to update the South Strabane Comprehensive Plan.
Mr. Chairman, take out that discussion and beginning with a motion to seek RFPs to
Right.
update, okay, take that discussion. Discussion comes after the second
Right.
motion, okay? And Mr. Chairman, at the time you're mentioning this motion, explain to the audience what an RFP is.
Requests for proposals. So in the process, as we're updating the zoning, and Mr. Makel, you can jump in and, correct me over if I'm wrong, but
There's-
go ahead.
If you, I'll do it right
Yeah,
now.
go
The public, during these meetings, there's been some comment about certain portions of the zoning ordinance that may need to be amended to reflect the current changes going on in the township. So what I've always been taught is that a lot of times, what I've always been taught that it's maybe important to have an updated comprehensive plan that would support some of your changes to your zoning ordinance. There are different parts of this community that when I first moved in, I first moved on Pear Drive, 1991, and then I built my house in 2007. There have been substantial changes in the community. And there are certain things in the current zoning ordinance that I think need to be updated because there's certain things there that aren't very protective to the current residents. So my thought process was to maybe have a comprehensive plan started and maybe start looking at redoing the zoning ordinance to reflect the changes in the community.
Peter, do you have anything additional to add?
Nope, I just would add that, there are grants available, just like TJ was talking about through DCED for doing comprehensive plans. There used to be a grant program through the redevelopment authority, but they don't no longer offer that program. But just my recommendation to the board would be, for us while we're doing this, looking into this process, to look at also grant opportunities to help pay for the process.
Mr. Owen, if I can interrupt you again, I do apologize. The board wanted the applicant on the first item. He's now on Zoom. Mr. Keith Higgins. This is a situation we wanted him to be here present by Zoom.
Okay.
So do you want to make a presentation, Mr. Owen?
Let's vote on what we're on.
Wait, hey, Mr. Chairman, let me finish this up. Then
Okay.
Tell him to hang on, we'll get.
We'll finish this one up.
Yeah,
We're on the RFP on D.
We're on D right now.
we're on D.
Yeah,
Motion to approve.
yeah.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0.
Okay, now you can go back.
9A.
Now we're gonna go back to letter A. And the applicant for this is on Zoom. Okay,
We never.
Mr. Higgins,
Good evening.
you want to make a presentation?
Sure. I apologize. I was double booked tonight, so I appreciate having the opportunity to come on Zoom. I believe we've got lot 103 in front of the supervisors tonight. It is the second to last townhome in the Burkett Manor development. The plan in front of you tonight is a relocation of lot lines based on the foundation as built of the townhomes. We physically locate the foundation walls in the basement, and we adjust, if necessary, the interior lot lines of the unit to make sure all the buyers have their property lines at the center line of their party walls. So some instances it might be a 1/4 inch to a couple of inches, but we update the plan, we update the meets and bounds, we update the areas, and then we submit it through the planning commission, and then it gets passed on to the supervisors for final approval. This is the plan that's here in front of you tonight. And again, I usually do a good job making the meetings. Just tonight, I was double booked.
Sir, could you please stay on? And TJ, do you have anything to add to that?
Sure. Yeah, like Keith said, this is a lot line revision plan. So the original submission has where the anticipated party walls will be between the townhomes. This subdivision is to accurately depict where those walls were built based on the as-built. So this is just a lot line revision. There's been a number of plan revisions prior to this. This is the 8th one for the 8th townhome building, I believe, right, Keith?
Correct.
So our office did review the subdivision application. It largely complied with the ordinance, with the only exception being that the surveyor seal needed to be added to the drawing. Keith has added his surveyor seal to the drawing and resubmitted it to the township. So all of our review comments have been addressed, and at this time, we're recommending that this subdivision be approved.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion?
I would like to add, excuse me, there is a copy of the plan at the township. The only comment, like TJ said, was my signature and seal. During the planning commission, I had dropped off signed and sealed copies of the plan. So that should be with the planning director.
Yep. Yep, we have that, sir.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Is that everything? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, letter E, motion to approve an ordinance of South Strabane Township, Washington County, Pennsylvania, repealing ordinance number 4-2023 and ordinance number 3-2022 and any other ordinances creating a park and recreations commission. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, why the move? I saw in the form that we had earlier given to us, there was budgetary constraints.
Correct.
Is there any other reason for it besides budgetary constraints?
Yep.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carried. 3-2. Motion to approve and enter into a settlement agreement and release with Waste Management regarding utility lines and traffic light replacement. Mr. Stefanski or Mr. Makel, do either one of you have anything to add to that?
Yes, Mr. Rowan, there was some type of waste management truck must have hit some type of utility wires on Oak Springs Road. So basically, there was there's a claim for damages. My office saw the initial document. We didn't think it was sufficient. We redrafted it. And I think sometime today I received an email from the township manager requesting some minor modifications. We made those minor modifications. There's a payment going to be made to the township for the damages. That is with Waste Management. There's a claims company involved here. So this is just to say, upon payment, and we don't provide the release until we have the check in hand from the claims management company for Waste Management. So if you want to make a motion to approve the release between the township and Waste Management with the same not to be provided until a check is in hand, okay? They can make that motion, you can make that motion.
Yeah, I like that.
I've got one question. Who drew up the original agreement?
Well, the original agreement was like a page or two, was a paragraph or two paragraphs. I didn't think it was sufficient, so we redrafted it. We made it as a full release.
I think that Waste Management should reimburse the township for the solicitor's expenses.
Good point. Mr. Bull?
Put that in the motion.
Yeah.
Both those things in the motion, check in hand and also.
So are we going to change the motion letter F
So now
to,
you have to amend it, because if you're going to amend it to that effect, then whoever made the first has to, whoever makes them, you have to place that in the new amended motion.
yeah,
So the motion would be basically to enter into a settlement agreement with Waste Management, subject to them providing providing the check in the damage amount, and also being responsible for the cost of the solicitor's office to prepare the agreements.
do I hear a motion to the way Mr. Makel?
Who made the original motion?
Pardon me?
Who made the original motion?
I don't think there was. I don't think
Yeah,
there was.
Okay, this is the ori- this is-
Yeah.
I'll make the motion with the caveat we be reimbursed for the expenses and they not get to release until we get paid for that.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Motion to approve the transfer of $4,417.58 from South Strabane Township to fund accounts to Trinity School District on the basis that the township tax collector inadvertently placed the aforesaid amount in the township account on February 27th, 2026. Mr. Stefanski, do you have anything to add to that?
No, just what you said, the tax collector inadvertently placed those funds in our account, and then we just cut a check to send them to Trinity School District. Is that correct, Marie?
Yes, but it wasn't a transfer. It was just money that came in and then we paid it right back out.
Yeah, but it's in one account, but then you should have a record showing that, for auditing purposes, that we have a record showing that.
So the money came in and we just paid the money back.
Yeah. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Grego. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Weber. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Letter H, motion to approve GG&C School Bus Company to provide a shuttle service from Big Lots parking lot to the fire station on Oak Springs Road for the March 31st public hearing and on data centers at the cost of $435. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Discussion?
We have to have a second, then you have discussion. Need a second first before you
I'll
discuss.
second it.
So Mr. Grego, Mr. Weber. Thank you. Discussion?
Why don't you explain
They,
that?
they are,
Mr. Stefanski, do you want to?
So I was asked to look into, due to the limited amount of parking down at the fire station, I was asked to look into an adjacent parking lot that sits up behind, which is where Big Lots, the old Dollar Bank sat. I reached out to the property owners up there. They gave us permission to use the parking lot. And then the chairman had asked me also to look around to see if we could try to get some, help with shuttling people from that upper parking lot down to the fire department so we can save some of the parking spaces for those who would need a closer spot, handicapped accessibility, or were unable to walk from that distance. So that was when we reached out initially, we were trying to get services possibly donated to us or just provide a shuttle, but there were some concerns about insurance and liability for the township. So we decided to get a quote from outside so they would have the liability and they would provide the shuttle services. And GG&C responded to that.
That's good.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, so the contract shows 5 o'clock to 8:45. That's their time frame. So if it runs past that, it's more
That
of
was
an
an
open.
approximate. Yeah, it was
So-
we had to give them a time frame.
But what if we go to,
if it goes to 9 or whatever, they would take care of it.
okay, so 10-ish, still good or what?
I don't know.
When I reach out to them tomorrow, I can get clarification on that. But they said they understood that we might run over
It might
our
run
time.
late, yeah. We
Yeah.
just had to give them a time to get a driver on.
I mean, it's a contract, but okay.
I assume basically what you're gonna do, when the township manager talks to GG&C, saying if it goes to 9, it goes to 10:30, I'm assuming there'll be an additional cost. And maybe when he talks to them, find out what that additional cost would be, and then notify the board.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No,
Motion carried.
And my reason for that is, when we had the TIF meetings, we had the fire hall full. And we didn't have any shuttles in whenever the township had the hearings in. But, times have changed. Maybe this is a good thing, if we need it, it's a great thing. If we don't need it, it's a bad thing. So.
Just like insurance, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Short about 20 spots right now,
Yeah.
so we're very limited. It's even more restricted.
20 spots from what?
Parking
from what it normally
that?
is.
from the stormwater damage.
The head wall is out.
Storm, we have washouts in the back corner of our parking lot, not used, directly behind the building itself.
I was there today and looked at it, and I didn't see one parking space blocked off because of it. I saw the road that went around the back corner blocked off. I did not see one parking spot. But I appreciate you bringing that up. What are we doing to get that fixed for you?
Let's see Jermaine.
Yeah, let's.
But we do need to
Yeah.
come back to that.
Okay, not tonight. I think, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
correct. Motion or letter I, motion to approve an addendum to the township manager's employment agreement, section 4D, changing the probationary period from 90 days to 180 days. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
discussion?
Yeah, why?
Due to all the things that,
That's a personnel thing. You don't have to answer.
Why don't we go,
It's
if
a
you want, we
personnel.
could go to executive session, discuss it, Mr. Weber?
No.
Okay.
It's a personnel.
You're
thing.
right.
It's a straight up and down.
yeah. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 All right.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carried 3-2. Number 10, public comment time. The Township Board of Supervisors allocates 3 minutes during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the Board of Supervisors on any matter. Was there anybody that signed up, Mr. Stepinski?
Yes, we have 4 people signed up. Here. First up is Joe Roach again.
Hey, Joe Roach again. Was not preparing anything in advance, just a couple of things that you have discussed so far. Just had a couple of questions about whether we can discuss it, or I guess we can't discuss it now, but sometimes it needs to be discussed. All these subdivisions that you are mentioning, and, taking of, prime farmland and beautiful scenic vistas and whatnot, why are they just like the patches of houses that were put in by the coal companies way back when my grandfather was down here in Meadowlands, Manifold Road? The coal companies just put up these little shacks all in a row, all exactly the same. They had to buy everything from their store, that's how they got their pay. But these subdivisions that you're putting up are atrocious. It's harmful to the eye. You drive by it and go, oh my God, what's that? And then the cost of them. Where do the kids play? Where's the yard? Why isn't there anything when we're putting up these parcels of land? Why can't a portion of them be set aside for single family dwellings where the kids are going to have a half an acre or two to put up a pick up baseball game or something? These codes in these subdivisions, or these plans that you're putting up, all these subdivisions off Berry Road and whatnot, they're just hideous. I can't stand looking at them. And I don't think I'm alone in that. Now okay, then the only other thing that came up from this meeting that I had a issue with is anytime, and I've only had a couple of jobs throughout my whole entire careers, but it was always 90 days before you got put on insurance. I had never had an employer hire me and then say, oh, by the way, it's going to be 180 days. Never happened. Why the heck would it be happening here? That's just astounding to me. Haven't made a lot of these meetings, and I'm going to be attending a lot more because my God, things are going on. And flags. You mentioned flags before, and could I just ask, I don't know, when you come up Pancake Hill on Route 40, there's a little spur. There's one on the left, but there's one on the right going up with a huge flag. Things in tatters. Looks like it's been through a war. Who takes care of it? I want to approach whoever and buy them a flag and help them put it up.
Washington County Historic Society.
That's who I need to contact?
Yes.
I'll be calling them first thing in the morning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Diane Ecker.
Hi, Diane Ecker, Terra Drive. And I guess when I looked up the agenda tonight, I expected to see something about data centers. So I'm looking for some understanding between now and the public hearing on Tuesday. I thought that when the Planning Commission met on the 19th, that they literally kicked the can down the road to the supervisors to make some amendments to the data center ordinance that's online, dated 3/13, but nothing has been added to that. Is anything going to be added between now and the 31st? Or can it be?
I think,
Place on the 31st.
what's that?
It's going to take place on the 31st.
Well, it's a public hearing. So we had a
Yeah.
meeting Thursday night.
Mhm.
And there's going to be some changes made to it, but I have to be careful because if I make substantial changes, then it has to start the process over again. And I
Okay.
don't want to do that.
No, I think it's really imperative that we get a vote in place on the 31st. So
As I told you guys the other night, I'm not a scientist and all those different things about noise. It's beyond my pay grade, but the question is, if I put too much in there, then I have to start the process over again. Just so
Okay.
you're aware of that.
So it is possible to go ahead, pass it on the 31st and amend it forward if we need to or
You
decide
can always
to.
amend things.
Okay,
But again, the whole situation with data centers is a fluid situation.
sure.
I mean, what was drafted by my office is something that's an amalgamation of all the different places in the state of Pennsylvania. So, and again, and some of the things being requested at the last meeting, I've not seen in any other ordinances.
No, which would set us just star years ahead of everyone else.
I know, but I gotta be careful.
Okay. And then I guess I was going to inquire about the shuttle that will be running from the Big Lots parking lot to the fire center. There's nothing on the website about that. So I'm assuming since it's gotten approved tonight, it will go
It'll
on
be
the
on
website
tomorrow.
then?
Yep, tomorrow
Okay.
morning. Yep.
And then my last question is, if we exceed capacity at the fire hall, are we prepared to put a speaker in the parking lot, open up some doors so that everything that happens on the 31st is in keeping with the way it should happen, so we can go ahead and approve everything on the 31st?
Whatever we do has to be, we have to make as much opportunity for people to participate.
Mhm.
But again, as I talked today to somebody, we can't use Heinz Field to have an audience. So what we have to do, I think, and I haven't been down the fire hall for a long time. I don't know whether it's bigger than it. Is it bigger than this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been there in years. Last time I was there with Tom Ward, that was decades ago.
Okay.
So, hopefully we have more space there.
Yeah, and just, good planning brings good results.
I
So,
understand.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Corey, what is the occupancy? Roughly.
How many?
We're at 125. So we're
I
at
think
125,
that's
so-
sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big turnout.
You have 410 chairs.
How many chairs do you have down there?
We have over 200 at the station. I probably got another 75 to 100 up at the pancake station. that we can bring down as well.
Holding?
Those ones up there are folding. The normal chairs are like these.
We can bring chairs down from here if need be. If that's up to you guys. If you want us to do that, I can make arrangements with the road department to get them down. Next, I have Linda Rumbaugh.
Hi, Linda Rumbaugh, Burrell Drive. I just wanted to thank everybody up here for all the work that's been being done on the data center ordinances, especially to Dennis and to his crew. I know that they spent hours on there, but I think we need to recognize the planning board also. My husband's on that, and I can tell you he spent hours and hours researching, so he didn't really kick anything down the road. I mean, they spent, I live with him and I'm telling you, he's on the computer constantly looking up things about data centers. And so I just wanted to thank everybody for the whole hard work that they've done, and that was all I had to say. Thank you.
If I can respond, the planning commission does an excellent job. They really do.
Okay, next I have Michelle Rubeski. Did I get that right? Sorry about that. I should.
Good job. Good evening. I just wanted to share this with all of you, that on Saturday, we hosted the final Easter egg hunt as part of the South Strabane Township Parks and Rec. It was a sad and emotional day, to say the least. The weather was great. The crowd we probably had the most people there that we've had in all the ones that we have done. And I would go on record and say that this was the best one that we've had yet. The children filled their baskets with eggs and prizes, and afterwards they took pictures with the Easter Bunny. They played on the playground equipment. It was so heartwarming just to see them have such a good time. Many, if not all, thanked us for hosting and expressed how much they appreciated it and commended everyone for doing a great job. And we want to give a very special thank you to our wonderful fire department who brought over our special guest, the Easter Bunny, and we could not have pulled off such a great event without all of you. You may have eliminated the Parks and Rec, but you haven't eliminated the people behind it. The community support doesn't disappear just because of your vote. The community and that's all I can say right now. Thank you.
Last on the list is Judy.
Judy Panasic, sorry I was late. I just wanted to say that, first of all, to reiterate what Diane and Linda have said, I know there's been some negative stuff online, but I think that our planners and dentists have done an absolutely excellent job with the data center. And I kudos to this board too. I don't think anybody on this board isn't looking out for the best for the residents for this. And, I do tell people that I have faith in all of you. And I think that the shuttle is a fantastic idea because nobody may use it, but you can't, what if something else happens and there's no room? We have to have something else. If it were me, I'd have this room set up as a secondary that if people needed it. I don't think we're going to fill the 400, but if you're a planner, you've never done anything, you have to be ready for the worst case scenarios. Or, so I do think that the shuttle, $435 to all the money that this township has wasted over the years, that's a drop in the bucket. That's nothing. And if that gets a couple more people to the meeting that deserve to be there, then that's fine. The comprehensive plan, I think that's a wonderful idea that we do that again. The gentleman was talking about, that's how you get it, sir. You get the comprehensive plan, you start to change the zoning. And Bob Holly said over 20 years ago, make our lots 1 acre lots, make the lots bigger and don't have these smaller lots and don't have all these HOAs and these townhomes. We can change the look of our township for the better and to what it was originally starting as and has since changed. And my question regarding the money for the tax collector and that mistake, was that done when the big deal was being made to the press about the false statements about being allowed into her office? Like, was she more worried about, getting the press to get on her side to let her into in an office she was being allowed into? And what things are in order for the township to make sure that she's doing her job right going forward with taxpayers' money? I have concerns about that. And for TJ, you guys talked about, and I only know this because I was at the zoning meeting for Harbor Freight. When they put that in, there's a formula for the township for how many employees that you have, to how many square footage inside of the store for people to stand, for how many parking spaces you have to have. So up at Beaumont, Fox's Pizza was going to have 9 employees. Now that's would have been a barely open pizza place and 9 employees. Plus they needed handicap and everything else. I know that between Firestone, Harbor Freight and Popeyes, and I have at home the plan. How is there possibly enough parking spaces? And did anybody check that? And did those companies give the right number of employees that were going to be there to set time, to figure out these formulas? So it's just, like I said, something that I have a concern about, that there's enough parking there, having been to those meetings and seeing the setbacks. Sorry, I think, Hey, that was it. Sorry. I just was making some notes. But thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. TJ, did you want to respond or no?
If you'd like me to, I can.
It's your call.
Yeah, I'll just say something quick about that, to Judy's point there. I gotta stand this back up first. So there are a number of businesses in close proximity there. And there are a certain number of parking spaces that are delineated for the Harbor Freight store on the drawings that they have approved. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. And that land development plan was reviewed by not by our office. So the point's well taken. Probably it's worth looking at those other 2 businesses that will share that parking lot and just making sure that there are, Harbor Freight wasn't reviewed in a vacuum, that there are sufficient parking spaces for everybody there. But I can't answer that right now because our office didn't review it. So I'm not familiar with all the details there.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's everybody, Mr.
Yes, everybody
Sapinski?
signed up. Yes.
Online, anybody?
Okay. Supervisors comment time. Township supervisors may address any items. Anybody have anything to offer?
Yeah, first of all, Joe, I think the last comprehensive plan was 2003. And
17.
Was it 2017? Okay, all right. I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find it. One of the comments, and Ms. Panasic alluded to it, is bigger lot sizes. And unfortunately, a lot of the areas of the township that are left to grow aren't served by the highest quality roads. And most of them are already saturated with traffic. And that's something that needs to be addressed, because most of the roads are state roads, and that's just nothing that the township's going to be in a position to do anything about it. Mrs. Eckert, that's one thing I think we need to discuss real quick. You know, this meeting, how late's it going to go? I think we all need to be on the same page on that. You know, I believe everybody that wants to be a part of the record should, and that's, ask you, Mr. Makel, you know, does everybody, I know a lot of people's going to be repeating themselves, but because this is going to be part of the permanent record that may be used if anybody, any challenges down the road, is it to our advantage is it to the township's advantage to let people speak that want to speak? And if so, are we going to go past midnight? You know, I mean, that's fair. Are we going to limit it to 4 minutes? You know, if you get 400 people, there are 300 people that want to speak.
Well,
3 minutes, that's, you know.
It all depends how many people show. And basically, we have to allow the people to speak. I mean, I can't say, you know, we're not going to let you speak, because even though John Doe says this is consistent with Susie Q, people still have a right to give their comment. So there will be a record. There'll be a stenographer present. A record we made. Now, this thing could go. I mean, you did your oil and gas ordinance years ago. You had a couple areas, didn't you?
We were down to Far Hall. We didn't go beyond like 10 o'clock or something.
Did you just have one hearing, or did you have more than one hearing? So,
Yeah, we had here, yeah, but I'm talking
so
about one big one.
it all depends how many people show up. And whatever we have to do is we have to do what's right, okay? Nothing, you know, I'm not gonna let people bash people or anything like that. And just for the record, TJ can tell you the other place I represent, he represents another township. I conduct the public hearings. And I conduct the public hearings because I've been involved in tons of, over 60 jury trials, maybe 1,000 non-jury trials and other things. So I've been in court quite a bit. So I try to make sure the meetings are streamlined. And I've done that here. I know somebody made the comment that I run the meetings. So I run the meetings only during the public hearing situation. That's because I'm familiar with the rules of evidence and so forth. So whatever we do is going to be done according to law. And you may have heard me say this before. There's 3 magic words that Judge Gilmore taught me years ago. Less is best. Say what you have to say, because otherwise you drone on. I have ADHD, I'm going to zone out. So
As a follow-up to those two things, will you limit people on the time they can speak?
I will try to keep them in the thing. I just don't want people to drone on for, you know, again, you give people some leeway. You know, if they want to go beyond 3 or 4 minutes, and, you know, if they go beyond 3 or 4 minutes, then I might, you know, it all depends, but I'm not going to, I don't want, you know, I get tired at 10 o'clock nowadays. I'm in bed by 10 o'clock, because the office at 6:30 in the office. So.
Do you require the people that speak to turn something in writing? Is that a requirement?
It would be nice. I mean, I know it makes my life easier, because again, if I have something in writing, I can refer to it. That's up to them. It's their situation, not mine.
Thank you, Mr. Mink.
One more thing, if I might. You know, all this crap that was said over the tax collector, there's a lot of things people don't know. When the first of the year came, we had an issue with collecting the first quarter mercantile tax. And previous management here didn't address that before the end of the year. So our previous tax collector had to come back and finish collecting the mercantile taxes. And which means, and when she left to take a break after her mother had passed away, she took the keys to her office with her, and I probably, and actually we had even had to renew her bond to collect those taxes. So there was a lot more to that story than everybody said. For God's sakes, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. If I had to put a guess on the fraction of it that was actually correct, we might be splitting hairs. Thank you.
Or Channel 11.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I'm good.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.